Welcome back to the deep dive. We get a bunch of sources from you about, well, the pretty confusing world of hormone supplements. Specifically, we're looking at one called Serenya today.
Right.
Our mission really is to see if this product claims to restore your hormonal rhythm using plant-based stuff actually, holds water when you look closely. We're digging into transparency, evidence, the basics.
And it's so important we do this. I mean, the sources point out over 90% of women deal with hormonal symptoms at some stage. It's huge. So these companies, they see an opportunity, a vulnerability even. They tend to follow this playbook, big, broad promises about balance. Sounds great, right? But then they keep the actual details really scarce. Very intentionally so.
Yeah, and that's exactly where the Serenya investigation it hit a wall. Sources flagged the website almost immediately. It looks nice, pretty pictures, as one source said. Lots of vague language. But the overall feel, zero substance. Seems less like a health product company and more like like an algorithmically generated mystery pill.
That description fits. And it's the things they don't tell you that are the real giveaways, the red flags. For you listening, these are the must-haves, the things you need to look for. With Serenya, you don't get a detailed ingredient list.
Right, so you have no idea what's actually in it or how much. Could be tiny amounts hidden in a proprietary blend.
Exactly. No way to know if doses are even clinically relevant. Then, zero clinical studies cited on their site. Nothing.
No research?
Nope. No real company info either, like where is it made, who is behind it, and definitely no results from any independent third-party testing for purity or potency.
That lack of an audit trail. That's where my skepticism really kicks in. I mean, legit supplement companies provide this stuff. It's standard practice.
It should be.
Serenya seems to fail that basic transparency test spectacularly, which makes you wonder, how can they even operate like this?
Well, that takes us right into the messy regulatory landscape. The FDA, it doesn't approve dietary supplements before they go on sale.
So it's on the company itself.
It is. The responsibility for making sure a product is safe and actually works falls entirely on the manufacturer. Self-regulation, basically. And when you're dealing with compounds often used in hormone products like phytoestrogens or adaptogens, these come from plants, natural sources.
Which means they can vary a lot.
Hugely. Potency, purity, these are major concerns. So if a company won't even tell you what's inside or show any proof it works, that's just, well, it's red flag territory, danger territory, really.
Okay, but let me play devil's advocate for a second. Some plant extracts do show promise, right? The sources mention inositol, for example, having decent data for PCOS.
Sure, specific compounds for specific conditions, sometimes yes. Inositol for PCOS is one example with some backing.
But what about the stuff you see everywhere in these balance blends, like chaseberry or maca root? What do the sources say about those when you just buy them over the counter? Do they work?
That's where the gap between the marketing hype and the actual clinical reality becomes enormous. While ingredients like maca or chasteberry might have some biological activity, the research largely suggests that for most of these widely marketed hormone supplements, they just don't show a clinically meaningful effect.
Meaningful enough to justify the cost or the implied medical promise?
Exactly. Often, the studies don't show much improvement beyond a placebo effect, especially, like you said, with unknown doses potentially hidden in those proprietary blends. Your endocrine system, this whole complex hormone communication network, it's far too sensitive to just guess at treatments.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what's the practical takeaway from this deep dive for someone listening if you're experiencing symptoms that are really impacting your life?
The clear message is, hormone balance, when it's causing real problems, that's real medicine territory.
Not mystery supplements.
Definitely not. You need a healthcare provider, someone who can run proper diagnostic tests, figure out what's actually going on, and then prescribe treatments that are evidence-based, treatments you can actually measure, not something you buy from a slick website that has more stock photos than actual science.
Right, so the core lesson seems to be, use your BS detector. If a product offers more pretty packaging than verifiable information, especially for something as complex as hormones.
Walk away. Transparency isn't optional, it's essential.
Absolutely.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you to consider. Given that this whole supplement market is largely policing itself, what responsibility do you, the consumer, have? How much digging into ingredient sources, manufacturing, actual effectiveness, how much of that should you do before you even think about the price tag? That investigation, that upfront work, it's really vital.